Hi guys, welcome back to 100% Mags. Sorry, I know it's a different camera angle. Unfortunately, I'm having a bit of a technical problem with the computer at the moment. So I'm just going to have to do it this way for this video. But what we're talking about, right, Borussia Dortmund versus Newcastle United tonight in Germany. Newcastle, of course, took on Borussia Dortmund in the fourth game of the Champions League group stages, and of course we came away from that game on the end of, unfortunately, a 2-0 loss. Looking at the way the game played out, unfortunately this game has come at a bad time for us Newcastle United fans. This game is coming at a time when we don't have the likes of Isak in the squad. We don't have players in there that we would normally have in there because of the injury crisis going on at the club at the moment. There's quite a few players that are missing from the squad. Obviously, there's no Murphy in the squad because of the shoulder. There's no Dan Burn there for selection neither. There's no Isak for selection. There's players seemingly to be just dropping like flies at the moment, unfortunately, for us. But looking at how that game played tonight, there was some standout performances from quite a few lads out there tonight. All the lads pulled their weight in the match tonight against Borussia Dortmund at the Signal Iduna Park, of course. And a few of the players that I would want to pinpoint out is absolute standouts in the game would be Tino Livramento. Again, proving exactly that he is the future for Newcastle United in that full back role, along with other players as well, like Hall. He put in a really good effort tonight as well for Newcastle. And we're also seeing some fantastic performances from the other lads in the team tonight. But looking at that result, you can't look too much into it in the fact that, because of the injuries that we do have, we can't really look too much into it and go, well, Dortmund are the better side, because that, for me, it didn't look to be the case. If it was full team against full team, Newcastle's coming away from that game all day long against Borussia Dortmund. They didn't really seem all that threatening in the game against where they scored one goal. They kind of then just sat back, pretty much similar to what they did at St James's Park. But unfortunately, I'm not going to go on like one of them lot from the northwest or the south, and say that we're lost because, we were hard done by a referee. The referee was a little bit dodgy, but at the end of the day, it's purely down to the fact that, we just don't have the players right now. There's players dropping like flies, like I've just said, and we need that international break coming up, try and recoup some of them first teamers back into the squad. I mean, when you look at the lineup that we went with tonight going into the game, of course we went with a lineup of Nicky Pope in goal, Trippier in the left back position. We had Livramento playing the right back position. We had Lascelles and Shaw in the centre back roles. In the midfield we had Longstaff, Bruno and Willock. Then on, of course, the wings we had we had Willock up on the wing, and we had Wilson in the attack. Then of course Hall was playing on the other wing. Joe Linton was in the middle of the midfield. Of course, we're seeing substitutions of Almiron, Lewis Miley and Anthony Gordon coming into the squad as well. But looking at our bench going into this game, we didn't have much else past the likes of Almiron, Gordon, Miley. We didn't have much else past them lads on the bench. Dubravka was there, Dummett was there, Karius was there. There was two goalkeepers on the bench tonight. That shows, just how bad the injuries are at the moment with that we have two goalkeepers on the bench tonight in that game against Borussia Dortmund. But like I say, there's not really much you can read into it. We didn't lose that game through performance. We lost that game because of injuries. The lads all pulled their weight tonight. Some players even more so. The likes of Tino Livramento played out of his skin tonight once again, and that was that lad's debut game tonight for the Champions League. He hasn't played a game in the Champions League yet for and he's had a fantastic game there tonight in the Signal Iduna Park. But there was only about 4,000 tickets sold for the game for Newcastle fans, but there was well over 50,000 Newcastle fans that travelled to the game tonight. That shows, exactly how passionate of a fan base we have, and that is what a lot of people don't like, the fact that we've got such a passionate fan base. In the what is on the horizon for Newcastle United. Once we get to that point where we are on a level keel with the likes of a Manchester City, where then that is when people will start to see 100% the true amount that we have there, the true power behind the Newcastle United team once we do get that level keel. But even now, at the moment, we've still got quite a ways to go until we get there. I'd say another few years at least, to be able to get to that level. But we've already beaten the likes of Man City this season in the Cup. Yes, we lost in the league against them, but we'll beat them in the Cup. We've beat Man United in the Cup, just recently. We beat Arsenal at the weekend there, so it's not like, we're going into games and getting 1-0 wins. We are going into teams and we're convincingly winning these games. We'll put out a C squad against Man United at Old Trafford in the League Cup, and we'll come away from that game 3-0 winners. We'll put out a pretty decent side to the best of our disposal against Arsenal at the weekend. Heading into this game, we'll come away from that one as winners as well. So, obviously what's going to catch up with the fitness problems and the injury problems going on, this was obviously going to be a match where we would see some sort of effect of that on the team. But, thankfully we've got one more game before the international break. And then, of course, that international break happens. We don't come back until the 25th of November when we'll be taking on Chelsea. That one game before the international break, of course, is on the 11th of November coming up. That is against Bournemouth. So, thankfully, it is a team that is going to be a little bit more playable with the amount of squad that we do have at with disposal. But let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. What were your thoughts on the game tonight? I mean, were you there in Germany soaking in the atmosphere of the whole Champions League, or were you back here like myself in Newcastle and watching it on TV? What was your thoughts on the game? What did you think about the refereeing in the game as well tonight? What did you think about the lads' performances in the game tonight? Any Dortmund fans watching? If there is any, of course, let us know your thoughts as well. I'd love to hear what you thought about the game tonight. And I've got to say, one of the players that I was really, really annoyed with on the Dortmund side of things was Anthony. He is a absolutely dirty player. Of course, very quick, but very, very dirty. And I've got to say, I was glad to see that he did end up going off, and that was purely down to the fact that, Newcastle moved Tino Livramento over onto the wing where he was, and then he just couldn't compete with Tino Livramento, so they just took him off, But at the end of the day, it is what it is. The game's over with. There's nothing we can do about it now, and we'll roll on to the game against Bournemouth in the Premier League. Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below, and until next time, I'll see you all later, and how are the lads?